My name is Kim Webster. I am a certified personal trainer. I am a firefighter EMT full-time, and I am a military medic. And I decided to start a YouTube channel. So this is me going out on a whim and doing something really brave because I've been wanting to do this for a very long time. And I'm finally in a really good place to put content out there that matters. So here goes nothing. So I really struggled a lot with my mental health last year. I hit a wall, right? Hit this burnout that was pretty extreme, and it kind of like shook me to my core. And I learned a lot from that process. I learned a lot about who I was, what I wanted, and where I was going. And I went to Chateau Health and Wellness, and it helped me out tremendously with, getting me right mentally, giving me the tools to help me out with my mental health. And ultimately, when I came home, it was learning how to adjust back to normal lifestyle living and adjust with all these tools and all of these things that Chateau gave me, right? And I just really wish that I started a YouTube channel sooner so that I could help more people on the fitness platform, in the realm of firefighting, EMT stuff, because I have a passion for emergency medicine and helping people in their worst day. Also, I just love helping. I love helping people of all kinds and backgrounds, right? But anyway, for me, when I struggle with my mental health, it was an eye-opening experience for me because I was always the kind of person that was no, I don't need help, I'm good, I got this, right? Until I didn't, and I had a team of support, I had a team of friends and family, and Chateau was that family for me, and then when I came home and I came back on shift, I was so worried about what everyone was going to say, what everyone was thinking. And I just remember my shift mates and everyone being so supportive and helping me out tremendously, with making sure that I was okay, and not judging me, not shaming me. And it was incredible, so I'm making this YouTube channel not just for health, wellness, and nutrition stuff, right? I'm, making this YouTube channel to have conversations that matter. And mental health is a huge conversation that matters and is very close to my heart. And I want to make sure that people get the tools that they need so that they can get the help that they need to, not only just work through their mental health, or whatever they're struggling with, but to know that there's a huge community of support out there if you just say, I need help. So the first step is always asking for help and knowing that there's so many resources out there, but you don't know what you don't know. And the answer is always going to be no if you don't even ask or don't even try, right? So, I'm putting a lot of my vulnerabilities out there, and I could get a lot of backlash from this, but that's okay. For me, I'm really, really the kind of person that just genuinely wants to make sure that people are taken care of. And I value health and fitness that much more because of what I struggled with my mental health last year. I used to be the kind of person that was in the gym for 2-3 hours, at a time. And I was kind of using it as an outlet of escape versus what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Right? So when I got back home, I really started to really focus on intentionality. Why are you doing this? Strength training is important, right? But what are you doing it for? Running is an outlet, but why are you running? So my why has gotten so much more clear now. I move with purpose. I move with intentionality, and I'm trying to instill that in my clients that I work with. I'm trying to give support in our community in multiple ways. And the platform that I've built on a virtual platform is called hybrid strength and conditioning, right? So hybrid is this term that's being thrown out there a lot now. And I've decided that I was going to put out this program. And this program is something that I've been wanting to build for years now, right? Back when I worked at Empowered, I started this 8-week process or journey, if you will, challenge with my lifters that were already lifting. And I was how can we get them into running to see more of a difference endurance-wise and strength-wise into their routines. And, it was awesome. We had awesome success. People saw changes physically, mentally, and they just kept at it, right? And it was awesome to see. But there were certain parts of the program that I was like, oh, it's just not hitting the mark. There were certain parts that were missing. And when I developed this hybrid strength and conditioning program for a 10-week program, it is all encompassing. It's strength training 3 to 4 days a week. It's running 2 to 3 days a week. And it's also incorporating metabolic conditioning circuits, right? So metabolic conditioning has so many benefits to it. CrossFit it incorporates it. It just really pushes you aerobic capacity wise. And as a firefighter, first responder, military, police, what have you, tactical athletes, if you will, it's really important that you push your capacity because that's your job, right? You have to train for your job and be functional and not just be strong and not just be able to run, a really fast mile or whatnot, right? Like you need to be able to perform your job and do it well and also protect yourself from injury, right? So those are really important things that a lot of strength and conditioning programs don't offer. So I created this platform and I created this challenge. It's a 10-week challenge. It incorporates the running and the lifting and the Metcons. And it's progressive. It's not like, oh, here's 10 miles, go run that. Like that's a little ridiculous, I never do that to somebody. I'm very big with small progress. Small progress week to week adds up over time, right? For me personally, I don't want to ever ask somebody to do something that I'm not willing to do myself. That's very important. I lead by example, and I lead from the perspective of if I was a client, right? If it was my day one, what would I want as a client, So that's how I lead with my training principles, is leaning into, hey, this is what I would recommend if it was day one for me. And that small progress week to week is really important. So this program itself is not just for athletes or people that are looking at taking their fitness to the next level, because I have everyone from, couch to 5Kers or people that are moms and just wanted to get into strength training or into a program, And then I also have people that are in my department that are joining, which is awesome because my main mission with this program is to help people realize that it doesn't take a lot for you to feel better, look better, and be happier ultimately. I want to build a community of health and fitness and wellness and ultimately give people the tools for success that I wish I had gotten on day one. I'm not here to sit here and preach something and not live it, right? I want to live by these principles, and I do live by them every single day. And I really try to make sure that I guide people in the way that I would want, As a coach, it's very important for me to make sure that the people I'm working with are heard, they feel valued, because that's what matters, As a coach, you have a responsibility, and as a trainer especially, I think to have conversations that matter with your clients, to give them the tools for success, and to let them know if you don't have an answer, be very honest and open and vulnerable and let them know like, interesting, I'm not sure. Let me figure that out for you, But there's a lot of trainers out there, and I'm not naming any names because that's not what this is about, but there's a lot of trainers out there that should be staying in certain lanes, right? I am not a running coach. I can give you the tools for running progressions, but that's not my forte. Strength and conditioning is more my forte. So, I'm going to give Judah a shout out from Harford County Running Club because she's a running coach and I work with her, So as a professional, my opinion is that you should never act like you know everything, because you don't. And people can see that, right? So if my lane is strength and conditioning and then suddenly I'm like, oh, I'm a high rocks coach, weird. Like, what training have you gone through? What's your certification process for this? Because I don't really know that much about high rocks myself. Like, I'm still learning it. I'm going to classes over at Prodigy Fitness and I'm loving it, But my question that I would urge people to ask is, who are you? What's your certification? What's your background? What's your knowledge base to even put this information out there, right? So be very careful about who you trust your information to or who you believe, right? Always make sure it's all fact checked and there's research behind it. Like for me, I give generalized nutrition guidance. I don't write meal plans. If somebody is sitting there writing you a meal plan, are they a registered dietitian? Do they have a degree? Like, what's their background for this? What are their credentials in order for them to tell me this? Be very, very careful about who you trust because they are playing with your health and your wellness, right? And your nutrition plays pivotal roles with your hormone function, your sleep, your stress, like, and that's your resting metabolic rate that you're messing with. So if somebody is like telling you to eat hardly any food, 900, 1200 calories, like that's nothing. Your resting metabolic rate could be like screwed for years. So just be very careful about who you choose to put your trust into, especially in this industry. So for me, this YouTube channel is more than just like, here's some workouts, here's some nutrition. Like, I live by this stuff. And I've been a passionate trainer for well over 10 years. I was a trainer before I got hired with the fire department, before I went in the military, and I have a passion for all of these avenues, right? But now I'm seeing the complete picture of everything coming together. You know, I'm seeing the big picture of like why I struggled with my mental health last year, why I, struggled with my weight when I was in high school, like I can understand so many different people and so many different backgrounds. I was 200 pounds when I got to high school. I lost 50 by the end of my senior year, through eating better, making better choices nutritionally, and running and moving more, So I think there's a lot that can be said about a lot of different avenues when it comes to health and fitness. But my biggest advocator right now is making sure that you have balance, right? You can't sit here and advocate and say, like, you can never have these foods, because that's ridiculous. I'm a big advocator for balance of all sorts with your health, fitness, and nutrition. Nutrition is one of those things, like 80% of your meals, if they're clean and whole food based, 20% of it can be whatever you want, Like, I'm never gonna tell an Italian to never have pasta again, because that's like a mortal sin, right? So just be careful about who you trust with your information. I'm very big with research, like the Huberman Labs is a podcast that I love. There's a lot of podcasts that I can give shout outs to, but for me, I have a background with exercise sports science at Frostburg and Towson University, and I minored in psychology. Do I have my 4 years degree? No. Do I plan on finishing it eventually? Yes. So I think it's really important that you sit there and you ask yourself these important questions, because it's vital. So that's just a little bit about me, a little bit about why I want to create this YouTube channel and put this content out there. So please subscribe if you are interested in learning about who I am, what I'm about, what I stand for. I'm a firefighter, EMT, full-time, part-time military medic with the United States Air Force, Air National Guard within Maryland. And then I'm also a certified personal trainer with ACE. I do have plans on becoming NSCA certified tactical strength and conditioning facilitator this year, so that I can become a PTL with my department. So very excited about that coming down the pipeline. I am an athlete myself through and through, so I push myself every single day. Do hard things every day, and you will be surprised with what you can accomplish. I live by that principle. I don't feel like running, guess what? I run. I don't feel like lifting, guess what? I lift. I just adjust my intensity based off of my stress level, based off of what I'm experiencing, but I still show up for myself every fucking day. And I say that because it is so important. No matter what it looks like, no matter if you feel like it or not, just show up for yourself every single day, whether that's walking, whether that's running, whether that's meditation and mindfulness and yoga. Like, I don't care what it is. I don't care what that looks like. Just move your body. Move it intentionally, and you're going to see success with that. So those are the principles that I live by. And those are just a little snippet about me. I have a half marathon that I'm going to be doing in Jackson Hole, Wyoming in June. I have a triathlon in August. It's like a sprint, so it's not anything too cray-cray, because I need to learn how to swim to not just survive, but to actually swim efficiently. And then in September, I have High Rocks. And I'm extremely, extremely excited because the charity that I've really been wanting to push for and working with is called the Phoenix, right? The Phoenix Foundation is this amazing nonprofit organization that was founded by Scott. And his biggest thing that he found was that fitness helped him stay sober. He's a recovering addict, and he literally transformed how he viewed himself by literally showing up for himself every single day through fitness, through health, right? So he decided like, hey, maybe I can do this on a larger scale and help other people who are struggling, which is incredible. So he created the New Form app. So anybody who is struggling to stay sober or even wants to be an ally, right? Somebody who is supporting somebody with mental health or just wants to come out because it's a great cause. Or if you're struggling with your mental health, you can go to any of the local events that they have. So as long as you are 48 hours sober, you can go up and show up to those events of any kind. And basically they're free of charge, which is incredible, right? So, you know, Scott created this platform, he created the Phoenix, and it's this amazing platform that I want to bring to Baltimore because we don't have that many events in Baltimore. Actually, we have like none. So for me, I was like, this is why I'm here. I'm just so excited and I'm so fired up because I want to bring change to so many lives. And I'm super excited to now be on a YouTube channel and a YouTube platform. And for those of you who know me, welcome. I'm excited to continue this journey and share my story with you and share my experience and all the things that I've learned along the way and hopefully help you in that process and be fully caffeinated. So Starbucks is where it's at with the cortado. So just really, really excited for where we're going with this platform, with the Phoenix and growing my hybrid athlete community virtually. And just really looking forward to the success in 2026. So on that note, I'm looking forward to putting out more content, so keep your eyes peeled, and I will talk to you guys later.